dear friends. Today we are going to play a very scary game called Granny. This is a remake in a very cool quality, so it will be much scarier for us than in the first version of the game.
I suggest starting with the light mode. I tried to play this game even on early versions. So far, I don't understand how you can win here. I have to solve some puzzles, but apparently I'm too stupid.
Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. Do it right now. This is very important for us.
We appeared in some winter night forest. The graphics are simply amazing. I see the light right away. Granny's house is located there. It's obvious.
I've always wondered how the character ended up in this forest. If he was a hunter, at least he had a rifle with him. And so he's just with a flashlight. This is very strange and stupid.
I agree. In fact, I would like to know some kind of background to the game. How did we end up here? Why can't we go back? Why go to the forest at all? There are a lot of questions.
I'm interested. Why not just go there? I understand that this is written in the plot of the game, but it would be possible to have two variations of actions. If you go to Grandma's house, she catches you. If you try to escape, you fall, and she catches you again.
A good idea. Then it would explain a lot. In the meantime, it is clear that they just wanted to make the game without any problems. The task was simple, but adding a large number of Easter eggs, prehistory, and other interesting moments will definitely not hurt.
From the start, we are greeted by notes. It says here that she went to do household chores, and we have to wait. There's nothing for us to do in this house, so I suggest we get out of here.
It's much scarier to play with such graphics. The game is very atmospheric. Even if we can't get through, then running around this location is already enough to get a heart attack.
Hey guys! Today I found so many interesting facts about the game, Granny. You won't believe how captivating it is.
Oh, really? I've played it a couple of times, but it seems I've missed a lot of important details. Tell us.
Firstly, did you know that Granny was developed by just one person? This genius is named Dennis Needham. How did he manage to create such a gripping and scary game all by himself?
Unbelievable! I can't even imagine how one person could bring such a project to life. It's like magic.
Also, did you know that Granny was initially released on the Android platform? It became a real hit and later made its way to iOS.
Yeah, Android is really ahead in this regard, but what else did you find?
Interestingly, the game's difficulty level depends on how far away you are from Granny at the beginning. If you start right next to her, the game becomes incredibly challenging.
That's intriguing. I always thought difficulty increased as you progress through the levels.
So, another fact. Initially, Granny didn't have any eye sockets. They were added later to increase players' fear.
Imagine how terrifying it must have been, facing a creature without eyes. I wonder what other changes the game underwent over time.
And by the way, at the very beginning of development, Granny wasn't an old lady, but some strange monster. However, the developer decided to change the concept.
Probably a wise decision. A killer old lady adds a unique charm to the game.
I agree. Another thing, did you know that the game received so many enthusiastic reviews that the decision was made to create a sequel? Granny, Chapter 2 was released not long ago, and it added even more fear and puzzles.
A second part? I missed that. I'll have to give it a try. Are there any secrets in the game that you discovered?
Of course, for example, if you look through the keyhole on the door, you can see Granny sitting in a room eating. It's a moment that's both scary and funny at the same time.
Incredible! I had no idea you could see something through there.
Another secret. If you go up to the attic and find a chest, inside it you'll discover a note from the developer thanking you for daring to come back to Granny.
What a pleasant surprise. Do you know if there are any secret endings in the game?
Unfortunately, I haven't found information about secret endings, but I think the developer might have hidden something interesting for those who dare to play at the highest difficulty levels.
Sounds fascinating! I can't wait to try all these interesting things in Granny. Thanks for such an engaging conversation, guys.
Yeah, Ragatha, you found so many interesting facts. We'll be waiting for your updates on other games.
Alright guys, now let's delve into some fascinating theories surrounding Granny. Have you ever wondered about the backstory of Granny or why she's so determined to catch us?
Absolutely. I mean, we know she's not just an ordinary grandma. There has to be some dark and mysterious history behind her.
Well, there's a theory circulating among the Granny community that Granny was involved in some sort of dark occult rituals. People speculate that her quest for catching us is related to some curse or supernatural force.
That's intriguing. So she might be bound by some ancient curse, and catching us is part of some ritual? That could explain the urgency and relentlessness.
Exactly! Some players even analyze the symbols and drawings in the game, suggesting they might have hidden meanings related to occult practices. It adds a whole new layer of mystery to the game.
Wow, that's deep. I never thought Granny could have such a dark past. But what about the strange noises and whispers you hear in the game? Any theories on that?
Oh, you're on to something there. Some players believe that those eerie sounds and whispers are actually the voices of the victims who fell prey to Granny in the past. It's like their lingering spirits are still trapped in the house.
That's chilling. So, Granny is not just hunting us. She's surrounded by the echoes of her previous victims. No wonder the atmosphere is so haunting.
And here's another theory. The mysterious Teddy. You know, the one that's just lying around the house. Some players speculate that the Teddy belonged to Granny's grandchild, and something tragic might have happened to the child, triggering Granny's descent into darkness.
That's heartbreaking. It adds a layer of sympathy to Granny, even though she's trying to, well, kill us.
Right? It's like she's a tragic character herself, driven to madness by some traumatic event. Now, let's talk about the basement. Have you ever wondered what's down there, beyond the locked door?
I always assumed it was something horrifying. Maybe some secret chamber filled with more dark secrets?
Precisely. There's a theory that the basement holds the key to Granny's past. Perhaps a room filled with clues about her life, the rituals, or even a portal to another dimension. It's the ultimate mystery that players are dying to uncover.
So the basement might be the heart of all the supernatural elements in the game. That's intense.
And speaking of dimensions, there's a wild theory that suggests Granny exists in a time loop, repeating the same horrifying events over and over. That's why even if we escape, we find ourselves back in that dreadful house.
Like some twisted version of Groundhog Day, but with a murderous grandma. That's a mind-bending concept.
It is! And imagine if each escape attempt is actually a different version of us, stuck in the same loop. The Granny multiverse.
That's a trippy thought. So we're not just trying to escape Granny. We're trying to break free from a time loop. I love it.
Right? It adds a whole new dimension to the game. Now let's discuss the spider. Why does Granny have a giant mutant spider as a pet?
Good question. I always found that part bizarre and terrifying.
Well, some players believe that the spider is a guardian, tasked with protecting the cursed house. It adds a layer of mystical protection to Granny's lair, making it even more challenging for us to escape.
So it's not just a pet, it's a supernatural guardian. No wonder it's so relentless in chasing us.
And lastly, there's a theory about Granny's true identity. What if Granny is not just a random old lady, but a manifestation of our deepest fears or guilt? The house becomes a psychological maze, and Granny is the embodiment of our nightmares.
That's like a horror twist on the subconscious mind. So we're not just escaping Granny, we're confronting our own fears.
Exactly. The game becomes a journey through our own psyche, with Granny as the symbolic representation of our darkest thoughts. It adds a psychological horror element to the mix.
Whoa, Ragatha, you've blown my mind with all these theories. Granny isn't just a game. It's a complex web of mysteries and psychological horror.
That's what makes it so captivating. Theories like these add layers of depth to the game, making it more than just a scary escape challenge. It becomes a journey into the unknown, where every corner hides a new piece of the puzzle.
I never thought Granny could be so deep! Thanks for sharing these mind-bending theories, Ragatha. Now, every time I play, I'll be thinking about the dark history and mysteries behind Granny's chilling pursuit.
All right, guys, let's dive into more intriguing facts about Granny. There's so much more to uncover. Did you know that the game has multiple endings?
Multiple endings? I thought the goal was just to escape Granny's clutches.
Well, yes, but depending on your actions and decisions throughout the game, you can achieve different outcomes. For example, there's the classic ending where you manage to escape the house, but there are also alternative endings that reveal more about Granny's backstory.
That's a game changer. I never realized there were different endings. Now I want to go back and explore every option.
It adds a layer of replayability to the game. And speaking of replayability, did you guys know that Granny's behavior can change based on your actions? If you make noise or disturb certain objects, she becomes more vigilant.
That's intense. So the game adapts to how you play. I guess it makes each playthrough unique.
Absolutely! It keeps you on your toes, and the fear factor remains high. Now let's talk about Granny's weapons. We know she has that infamous bat, but did you know that there are different versions of it?
Different versions of the bat, what's the difference?
Well, there's the regular bat, but there's also an electrified version that Granny can use in harder difficulty levels. It adds an extra layer of challenge and danger when you're trying to navigate the house.
An electrified bat? That sounds terrifying. I can't imagine the added difficulty.
And did you guys ever notice the subtle nods to horror classics in the game? There's a painting in Granny's house that resembles Edvard Munch's The Scream, adding a touch of artistry to the horror.
That's a cool Easter egg. I love when games pay homage to classic art and movies.
Absolutely! It shows the attention to detail the developers put into creating a rich and immersive environment. Now, let's shift gears a bit. Have you ever tried playing Granny in practice mode?
Practice mode? I didn't even know that was a thing.
You'll find out about it next time. We can't open the door to go further. I wonder if this is how it should be. I tried to make noise to break pictures so that Granny would come into the room and open the door. But nothing comes out.
Let the subscribers write their tips in the comments so that we can go further.
Great idea. I would be very happy if you would like and subscribe to the channel. We really appreciate it.
Thanks for watching! See you in the next video!